Today I'm going to be interviewing Megan Warrender, owner of the Valley Vibe magazine and the Neighbourhood Welcome. I'm Heather Ramsay and you're watching HTV. So you run the Valley Vibe magazine. What made you want to start that?
That's a great question, Heather, and thank you for having me on your show. I started it about 7 years ago, and it kind of was a natural fit because I was already doing the Neighbourhood Welcome in Port Alberni, and there was so many. It was kind of the start of a lot of new people moving to Port Alberni, and they were all asking me, every time I saw somebody new, they were asking me information about Port Alberni, and at the time there just wasn't really anything to hand them with information about our community. So originally I was starting off, I was going to do a one-off publication, just one magazine with some information about Port Alberni. And I remember going around and talking to the businesses and the community, the city, a whole bunch of different organizations, and I had nothing to show anybody. I just had an idea and a vision and was passionate about it, and people bought in and they thought this was a great idea, and it was supported by the community, which is a huge honor, and it just snowballed.
Did anyone help you make Valley Vibe?
So did anyone help me make Valley Vibe? Good question. It's always kind of been my baby that I've worked on and came up with the ideas and things like that. I've had people definitely, what's the right word for it, advise me over the years. And, you know, I've had some people in the community have input and suggestions, because it's when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing. So it's come a long way.
Do you ever write?
I do. I have some writers that work with me. Right now, Heather Thompson is doing some writing and I'm doing some writing. So it's kind of a mixed collaboration depending on the article.
What's your favorite article?
Funny you asked me that. It's actually one that's going to be out in the next issue. For April's coming out, the next Valley Vibe. I have been working for months on an article on the fire station and the history of the fire station, and it's come together. And I don't want to do too much of a spoiler alert, but it was a huge honor to be a part of kind of capturing the history of our fire station, where it's come through over the years and all the people that have been a part of it.
What are some other things you do with Valley Vibe?
So we do lots of fun stuff. Anything that I'm a part of, I try to always have fun with it. We do, every time a magazine comes out, we like to do a launch event. And so we've done a fashion show in the fall. We did a comedy night in January, and all the proceeds always go to a local nonprofit as a fundraiser.
What's your favorite part of Valley Vibe?
My favorite part is just to get to be a part of the community. I'm born and raised here in Port Alberni, and even just doing this, I learn so much more about our community and the people that are in it, and I really enjoy that part.
What's the hardest part?
The hardest part? Always the ad sales. I love working with business owners, but the ad sales are what pays to print, pays for everything. So that's always the part that has the deadlines and the pressure, but I still enjoy that part of it too.
What is some advice you give to someone who wants to be involved with that?
Some advice that I would give to somebody would be find somebody that's already doing it, because you can learn a lot from somebody who's already successfully doing something that you want to do, whether it's publishing a magazine or anything in life, because you can skip many years by learning from somebody else.
How would you describe the Valley Vibe?
The Valley Vibe, I always describe it as Port Alberni's community magazine. We have so many great publications in and around Port Alberni, but this one I try to focus in Port Alberni. So it's really to focus on the people that are in the community, the businesses that are in the community. We have so many amazing businesses in Port Alberni, and I just really want to showcase them and have people shop local and know all those little hidden businesses and things around Port Alberni and things to do and history as well too.
How do you find out all that?
How do I find out all that? I just talk to a lot of people. A lot of my job is just connecting with people, talking to people, asking questions. I'm very curious. So when I'm meeting with somebody, I ask them questions, and it's amazing what you learn.
How do you connect with people? How would you meet people?
I am out everywhere, Heather. I am out in the community at different events. Chamber is a great place. They have so many great events happening this year, and just talking to business owners, being out in the community, as well as newcomers through the Neighbourhood Welcome, and just kind of asking people what interests them and things that they might want to know.
So what is the Neighborhood Welcome?
So the Neighbourhood Welcome's my other hat that I do. I've been doing that one for 8 years in the community. And so our focus is to greet all the new people that are moving here, which is just, it's amazing, the new people coming to Port Alberni. And so we provide tangible information, community information, maps, services, stuff from local business partners that are involved in the program. And we create a personal connection with the new people coming here. We do newcomers dinners. I actually have one tonight later at Bare Bones, which is great. And just meeting with people, kind of being that connection for somebody when they're new in the community.
What made you want to start it?
That's a great question. I had my first son. He was little at the time, and I was very much in the mom fog. And I kind of wanted something to do, but I didn't want something, 9 to 5 where I had to be somewhere. I wanted the flexibility because I think he was 3 or 4 at the time. And this just, through a series of events, kind of happened. And it was such a blessing in my life at the time and now.
How is the Neighborhood Welcome related to the Valley Vibe?
That's a good question. They work very well together. Both of them kind of cater to the businesses in the community and really promoting and showcasing the businesses in Port Alberni, as well as information for newcomers that are moving here, as well as just the community. I mean, we have so many amazing things in Port Alberni, and it just kind of both give an avenue to get that information out to people.
How do these businesses help you in your daily life?
The businesses
like
help
the skills and
help me personally, or help the community as a whole?
both.
Well, we have so many amazing businesses in Port Alberni and people that run them, and there's just so much that Port Alberni offers our community, and it is really exciting to be a part of it.
What's your favorite part about everything you do?
My favorite part would be the people. I'm a people person. I love connecting. I love connecting people. When I meet a business and they're looking for somebody else, I love connecting the businesses, the newcomers, the community. I just love being a part of the community and being able to be there for the people that are in it.
So how do you start a business?
That's probably a question that I would probably not be the best person to answer, but I just started it. I just kind of learned as I went, and there was a lot of trial and error, but
is there ways people could be able to help out with the stuff you do?
That's a great question. We love getting article submissions, photo submissions, different things like that for the magazine. People can reach out to me if they have ideas or things that they want to submit. And yeah, we welcome that. That's wonderful.
You're also a Christian. How has God helped you in your life?
Yeah, that's a good question. He has definitely been my strength through all of it, because when you're in business and when you're dealing with people, there's great days and there's tough days. And so it's a big part of having that relationship with God to lean on, and especially in those tough days.
Is there any verse that is especially important to you?
It's funny, over the years, the one verse that's really stuck out to me is in Isaiah. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it's "Fear not, God is with you." And that's always my constant reminder that wherever I am in the community, whatever I'm doing, God's with me, He's supporting me, He's there for me, and He's got my back.
You said you always lived here. So what's your favorite part about Port Alberni?
My favorite part about Port Alberni is, even though we're an amazing community that has so many amenities and great businesses, big and small, is that it still feels like a small town. I mean, you can walk up 3rd Avenue uptown and you can stop in at the businesses and you know everybody and everybody knows you. And it's wonderful to be a part of that kind of a community.
Do you have any hobbies?
I have kids. Does that count as a hobby? Right now and through the winter, I coach soccer with my son, and now it's switching to doing some coaching with my daughter. So I definitely, right now, I'd say my kids are my hobbies, as well as gardening when I can fit that in.
How long have you been gardening?
I have been gardening. I remember gardening as a little child with my mom and grandma. So it's definitely something I've always enjoyed.
What do you like about gardening?
I love that you can just plant something and kind of take care of something and it blooms into this beautiful bush or plant or flower. It's just very rewarding.
Do you have a favorite type of music?
Favorite type of music? It's funny. I personally, I like country music. My son right now, he's 12 and he's into 80s rock and roll. So that definitely, that brings me back to my teenage years. But yeah, that's what I would say, country.
Do you have a favorite musician or?
Well, it's funny. My favorite musician isn't country, but my favorite musician of all time is Lionel Richie. So that's my whole life. And my goal, my number one on my bucket list years ago was to see him in concert. And I did when I think it was 2017. My Michaela was a baby and we off to Vancouver and I got that on my bucket list. It was a great concert.
What was that like?
Oh, it was great. It was a fun experience. It's so amazing being surrounded by all those people. And
what is one random fun fact about you?
One random fun fact about me. I enjoy coaching soccer and being with my kids. Well, that's not random. I obviously am mom, enjoy being with my kids, but I enjoy coaching soccer and being involved in their sports.
Do you have anything else you would like to share?
Well, just stay tuned for in April when the next Valley Vibe's coming out. The fire station article is my favorite by far, and it's going to be amazing. It was a huge honor. I actually, would you believe, got all the retired fire chiefs together. And so that was probably, if I had to say one thing about all my years, that this was the most memorable experience I've ever been a part of. I got to sit up top at the fire station, around the table with all the retired chiefs, and they were swapping stories, and I just got to be a fly on the wall. And it was a huge honor, and that's why I love my job. It was just so great.
Wow. Where can people find it?
People can find the magazine all over town. There's about 50 or 60 locations. So, all the grocery stores, liquor stores, coffee shops, plus all the businesses that are in the magazine always have copies at their location as well, too.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
Thank you for watching HTV. I'm Heather Ramsay. See you next time.